Hi everyone. So I did make a light supper and I had that. I ate pasta today. I haven't eaten pasta for, 6 months. So today I had pasta and I didn't cook. I bought some tin chili, so I opened that. But one of the things you'll find when you come here, if you come here especially from England, you'll find the food is very, very sweet. You can literally, it's like eating sugar. If you buy any tin foods or anything like from Tim Hortons, the Cinnabons, it's like eating sugar. So to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that I'm not losing weight. Even with cutting carbs, and I cut out carbs completely, cutting my calories in half, I'm not losing any weight. Because everything here is packed with sugar. You can, even if you buy the raw ingredients and you say, okay, I'm going to make my own muesli at home, I use 2% milk. I don't even use the full fat milk. Everything is packed with corn syrup and sugar and things that are really bad for your system. And the food is tasteless. I mean, even when I cook the chicken and mince and all of this. If you want to buy meat that's proper, like grass-fed animals or grain-fed, it costs a fortune. So I'm not surprised that I'm not losing weight, but I am surprised at how sick I'm getting. And I look better after I exercise. If I go for a walk or I go for a swim, spend time outdoors, I see the difference right away. I feel better. So that's another reason that I want to go back to Africa. I know people think I'm crazy, but I'm actually not. I think that I had already told the Cyril Ramaphosa, and I had told Mnangagwa that they can set it up. If they set up the funding from there, and it comes out of the Zimbabwe budget or the South Africa budget, I can stay here, and then I can go to the schools there. I can give retreats there, because I'm not gonna get the funding here. I have been trying since 2011. I have been trying to get the funding. That's why I told my friends there, I told the family there, you guys can do it. You set up the funding, then I can come home. Because I mean, look at what is happening to Canada. It's not a joke what's happening. People are being pushed into slavery, into poverty. If I was in America, do you think I would be sitting at home without a job? With my qualifications and my skills and everything I have to offer, do you think I would be sitting at home? I don't think I would be. I applied to all the retail stores, Marshalls and Winners and all these big stores. Not even one job. So I'm very serious about going back there, making trips, getting the funding from there. I'm very serious because here there's no support. And I'm not just saying that. I never used to say anything. But then my mom used to tell everybody the food is tasteless. It doesn't taste nice. And I used to tell her, don't tell them that. They don't know any better because they haven't eaten our food from Zimbabwe. But now I'm telling people to support her because it's the truth. When I went home on my holiday 5 years ago, the food was still good. We went to a nice restaurant. I went with my friend Efrosini Papianis. They took me out for a meal. And I couldn't believe how good the meat tasted. So, it's really bad. I mean, if you're starting to get sores in your mouth and you're eating healthy, you're exercising, you are, keeping fit, that's what's happening to me. I'm getting sores in my mouth. And I eat normal foods. I don't eat anything that's unusual or anything that's like not coming from a regular grocery store. So, I mean, really and truly, and the Americans are grilling Bobby Kennedy Jr. like there's no tomorrow. Why do you think they're doing that? Because they want to keep making that money. He's actually trying to do something good for them, and they don't want to listen. I feel sorry for him. When I watch what they're doing, I'm like, oh my God. People are getting cancers. They use that DDT, they use the whatever they call them, poisons on the vegetables and things overseas. They'll take the foods from India, wherever, then they'll bring them here. And it will be like, yeah, we'll test this on them, we'll do this on them. And then they bring that food here, and people get cancers. And even the priests that came from India and Africa to my church, they were saying the same thing. So, this whole thing, they should go to Disneyland, and they should go on that ride. It's a small world. I think the children have more wisdom than the adults, because it's stupidity what they're doing. And even now they're pushing for Ritalin, they're pushing for all these drugs. They're saying, oh, the drugs are good, you should give them to the children. No, you shouldn't. You should make those decisions individually as a family, and you should really research the side effects of those drugs and what they do to people, what they do to your system, what they do to the children that they prescribe them for. Now, I think if those doctors from there had been in Africa, all of us would have been classified as having ADHD. Because we don't sit, we're always busy, we were always outside playing football, netball, frisbee. We were always outside. And when you're outside, it's better for your eyes too. Because when you're inside, like me, I've been inside this whole month. I don't like it, but I haven't been keeping that well. So I go out, I go sit on the roof, I go swimming, and then I go for my walk. But if you're inside all the time, that also affects you. That's why here the children do winter sports and all that. But really and truly, I'm praying that funding comes through for me. Because, yeah, I made a pledge to this country, but the country let me down. The country broke the contract. So they promised me a better life. They promised me good jobs. They promised me the health care was going to be good. They didn't promise me poverty and ill health and foods that were full of sugar and home invasions and break-ins and being taken to the police station for nothing, and people saying I'm obsessed with them when I have nothing to do with them. I have very little to do with them. I mean, it just boggles the mind how this country works. And it's all about confidence. If you say something with confidence, then yeah, you must be right. Let the next person come along and say it with confidence. Oh, they must be right. But if you like me and you lived in England, the idea of, oh, I'm confident, it means nothing to us, because they teach them how to do that. They teach them how to present. They teach them how to hold their hands when they're giving a presentation. They teach them how to use your voice. So, I mean, really, they say be yourself, but they're not themselves. So, I mean, really and truly, I hope that funding is set up for me from Africa, because then I can go, because the way they're doing it, they're sending, like the government here, they're sending huge amounts of money, billions and billions and billions to invest in Africa. And meanwhile, people here can't afford homes. We haven't got affordable housing. We haven't got affordable food. People are using food banks. People are setting up systems in the school so that children can get the foods at the school. And people are not in control of their lives. I wanted to watch Jaws yesterday, so I put it on. All the movies have got subtitles on. You can't even choose whether you can remove that subtitle or not. So your basic decision-making ability is being taken away from you. And people think it's good. They're like, yeah, things are hard. We should introduce these programs. And then you become dependent on the program and they don't create jobs. Look at what happened to me now with my ears, with the high blood pressure. I used to tell Teleperformance over and over, this is too much. It's too much pressure. These are back-to-back calls. Like if you give us at least 3 minutes between calls, that's better than back-to-back, 30 seconds, another call, another call. And people are screaming at you, shouting at you, yelling at you. You know, it's like, it's too much. Everybody's had so much to deal with the COVID pandemic, with the recession we had, with everything else. And then you have your day-to-day things that happen, like ill health or whatever. And people are just grateful that they have jobs, that they have an income, that they can go to school, that they can study. People don't need extra pressure like they put on us in the call center. And they're like, you just have to do your job. That's how the client wants it. And even when the operations managers like Mohammed Shafi try to talk to them, they don't listen. Then now they're losing millions, now they want to listen. I give up. And then people are telling me, oh yeah, you're living in fear. I'm like, what are you talking about? I never set up the system so that people have to have me tracked and followed. I was never living in fear. Even when I got knocked over in England, I got knocked over by a car. I came home from work late one day and I got off the bus and I checked. I had the right of way to cross the road. So I checked. I saw the signal and I started walking and this car came and it bumped me and it just carried on. And the bus was gone. The bus had dropped me off and gone. There was no one there. It was dark. I had to crawl to the side of the road. And then somebody stopped and asked me, are you okay? I said, yes. And he said, I'll drop you home. Where's your home? I said, no, I'm not coming with you. You're a stranger. I don't know you. And he said to me, no, I promise you I'll drop you home. I will not hurt you. I won't do anything to you. And the man actually was nice. He dropped me off where I was living at 46 Maxwell Lane in Pinner. He dropped me off there. And I had to work. Even though I was hurt, I was in pain, I had to work because if I didn't work, I wouldn't get paid. And there I was on a working holiday, so I couldn't claim anything from the government. So I used to put frankincense drops in my bath, and I used to bath and come out, and that used to help. It really used to help to ease the pain in my body. And then I used to go to work. So, I mean, I've been through a lot. I'm tired of always being put to the bottom of the barrel when I'm educated and I'm qualified, and I don't live in fear. If there was one place that I could have lived in fear, it was in Zimbabwe. And even there, I didn't live in fear. I went out, I enjoyed my life, I went to dances by the river, I went to discos, I went to Queen's Club, I went to watch tennis, I participated in all the sports. So I'm very insulted by the things that people are saying to me. I'm very insulted and I'm very put off by how I've been treated and how people are treating me and my family. I don't like it. I don't. That's why I want that funding. I applied for the funding here from the government to say that if you give me this funding here, then I can work. I go for 2 conferences a year for the John Maxwell, and I can work from home and I can do these videos for what I'm doing now with spiritual direction and with my John Maxwell and post them. And then people can access them who normally wouldn't access them. And I can try to set up something with the schools or something with they have access, they have the G7 and all that. So, because when I made the proposal to Bono, he didn't want to do anything with me. So, that's why I have to try a different way. People should make their own decisions before they start giving their children Ritalin and drugs that are going to take away their ability to have children and all these things. Because they know what they're doing. Even when they sent that contaminated blood to England, they knew that it was contaminated. And they sent it to certain areas where they knew there would be mainly Indians or non-whites living in those areas. Everybody got affected, not only the Indians. But they do it on purpose. It's all a big social experiment. And I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's the reality. There is absolutely no reason somebody like me, after all these years in Canada, should be sitting in minimum wage. After I've proven myself in this country, I've proven my commitment, I've proven my ability to study, I've proven my ability to make my own decisions, I've proven my ability to buy and sell a property, to hold a property, and to take care of it. There is no reason, there's absolutely no reason that I shouldn't be getting the funding that I'm applying for. There's no reason, because there are foundations here that give away billions. They give away billions and billions. I've written to all those foundations, because I'm not asking for that much. They should make it $1 million. They can do it for 5 years and then make it $1 million. Because I'm not asking for that much. I'm asking for $200,000. That would be my salary if I was working as an HR director. There are executive assistants who earn that much in America. But it's not easy to get the visa to go and work there. So, yeah, I mean, if you come in here, you have to really make up your own mind, and you have to research, and you have to look at things critically. Because even when they took me to Sunnybrook, when they recommended that drug and the treatment, my doctor said to me, I'm not recommending this. He said, he gave me the name of the drug, and he said, you should go home and research it, look into it and see, because it's a very strong drug. I don't think it's necessary if you don't want to do it. So I took it. I went home, I researched it, and it had all kinds of side effects, including making you barren, taking away your ability to have children. I told him I don't want to do it. So he said to me, that's fine. You need to get a lawyer, and you don't have to do it. And try to get some counseling. That way I can tell them, if they come back to me, that you did go for counseling. And I said to him, if I do it through the church, is it okay? He said, yeah, that's fine. So they shouldn't have been so ridiculously hard on me. They treated me like I was a criminal. They treated me like I went and robbed the bank and did the economy of Canada down. I was doing what the banks told me to do. I was doing what the condominium manager told me to do at Rosewell Gardens. I was doing what they lawfully told me to do. And then when the push came to shove, nobody would confirm anything, including the employment agency, who then turned around and told me they're not going to place me. I was like, fine, don't place me. You're not the only employment agency in the world. So you have to do that. If you come here as an immigrant, you can't trust anybody. It's just the reality, because they tell you one thing, then they do something else. That's exactly what they did to me. They told me they're going to promote me. They told me they're going to give me 2-year contracts. They didn't do anything. They did the exact opposite. They left me to go into poverty, to watch my health fail. They did everything on purpose. So you have to think critically for yourself and for your families. Just because the doctor prescribed a medicine doesn't mean that you have to take it. And if you don't want to take it, you need to discuss it with your doctor like I did. It's not anybody else's life. It's your life at the end of the day, and your child's life. So I'm praying I get that funding.